I'm not huffing glue. I'm not, I don't know, cooking 8 balls. What do they cook in aluminum foil? Meth? Yeah, I'm trying to do some quilling. Look at this. I got the magnifying thing going on here. We're going to open this up because I know it needs repair. Let's see if we can do this. And this is called quilling. And I just started doing it tonight with this little tool that I got on Amazon and all these little strips of paper. And yeah, I don't even know if it's going to even fit in what I, have to repair. Let's open it. So before we open it, this is the item that I want on eBay. And no, not for that price. The lady actually did a deal with me and I got it for way less. But I didn't realize until after I bought it that it was missing some quilling. And it bothers me. I think I have some kind of OCD type of situation going on here. Come on, man. We're going to open this sucker. And I just wanted to show you if I can find a full shot. Here we go. Here's a full shot. And it looks like nothing's wrong, right? Until you blow it up. And then you realize it's missing a piece of quilling here. It's missing, you see this? Right there with the gem and the quilling. It's missing that there. And it's missing that there. Bothers me. So before it arrived, I ordered all these supplies to try to repair this sucker. Let's open it in fast motion. Oh, wow. Okay, I got glue all over my hands, so don't mind me. So what you do is you unscrew this, and you don't want to lose the screw. These are reliquary crosses. Let me just move my magnifier out of the way. There we go, because it's magnifying the light. And these hold relics of saints and martyrs and popes and wow, okay, this thing is taking forever to open. But these are very expensive when you do find them. Once in a while, you'll find them for a deal, which is very rare. Let's try to open this. And if I can, and I want to show you, because I didn't get to see it yet, you're going to see it with me. And I'm going to try to fix this. Now, how do I open this? Oh, wait, there we go. There we go. There we go. Okay, here we go. And we have the saints in here, the bones of saints. First relics and second relics. First class is what you want. You want the bones. Second class would be like something they touched. It could be a piece of cloth, their underwear. First class, again, it could be a fingernail. It could be, you know what I mean? So we got, who do we have here? I can't even see. Let's zoom in. We have Saint Blaise. Oh, crap. Saint Blaise, oh my God, my camera is terrible. Cornelia, Saint Aloysius, Saint, I can't even read that. Crescent. Then we have a martyr, random martyr. Who else do we have? Agnus Dei is not a saint. It's the Lamb of God. It's a piece of wax with a lamb on it. We have on the left, Fausta. I don't know if it's Saint Faustina. Then we have Ursula. We have, who do we have here? I can't even see. Vincent. Saint Vincent. Saint Teresa, my favorite saint. Well, actually, Saint Therese, or it could be Saint Teresa of Avila. Okay, and then we have Philip, and then we have Venatius, but we're missing quills. Okay, we're missing quilling. I don't know if you can see that going throughout this piece. And here too, if you're looking at crossed on my hands, it's glue. It took me 45 minutes just to make what I made. And it is insanely hard to make this quilling in miniature. So this is my really terrible, attempt at quilling. I did not realize that just for something like this was very hard to produce. Now, I think the quilling I made is too big to even fit in there. Well, crap. Hold on. Let me bring it up. Now, these strips of paper, you can get them in different colors. I chose gold. Now, it might not be the same gold that's in here. And I can actually gild the paper. I have gold gilded. Yeah, this is too big. Oh, my God. I just spent 45 freaking minutes making this shiz. And it turns out it's too big. All right. Back to the drawing board. I'll be back. Let's see if we can get this fixed. I hope we can. From the pictures of the crucifix, I'm back, by the way. From the pictures of the crucifix, it was like zoomed in like that. So it looked like the quilling was big. You do not realize how much work went into the making of this in miniature. Somebody had, like, these things should be appreciated. because now I'm going to have to do this all over again. Oh my God. I'll be back. Hopefully we can do this. We're going to have to use special utensils to get this even in the reliquary. A reliquary is something that holds holy relics. And in this case, it's our crucifix. But the issue is also there's little gems. I don't know if you can see them. Yes, I bought little gems also in all different sizes. We're going to try to fit it in there. But you don't really appreciate these things. That's why probably there's so much money. Usually nuns at convents made this. And they spent a hell of a long time making these little quilling pieces out of paper. But this is not going to work. Damn. You know, you can't always get what you want. I mean, I could probably try to throw something in here. Let's see. Let me just pick one piece up here. Put it in here. And then I'm realizing that it is definitely way too big. And also, it's not the same color. But I have a special pen that's gold ink. It's like gold metallic ink. I'm going to have to color this. They did not sell gold metallic quilling paper, which quite sucks. And so I went through all this trouble to order this gold color. It was called gold, and it's not gold. Well, shiz. I want to show you, I have this special pen. It's a thick tip on one side and a very, very fine tip on the other. And you can gild the paper and make it, I don't know if we can get it close to here, but make it gold like that. I will tell you, quilling is not for everybody, and it's definitely not for me. I thought it would be very easy, and it turned out it was extremely, enormously hard. Now that I see these old pieces, this one is probably circa 1890s to about the early 20th century, somewhere up until the mid 20th century. This was completely hard. Now, they did this as far back as the Middle Ages in these reliquaries. They would actually place the bones and relics of saints, holy pieces, in frames and all sorts of things, in lockets. And let me tell you something, these nuns had the patience of a saint, and no pun intended. And so one of the reliquaries popped out of here when I was putting in some of the stuff. And all right, so I was able to add a real, actual Czechoslovakian antique ruby right there in the center. Don't know if you can see that. The glue is drying. It is going to take 24 hours for it to cure. Now, as you can see, there is quilling going across. And if my hands can only stay steady, that would be fantastic. I did quilling. I added them into the spots that there was no quilling. Could not replicate what was done here. You can see every spot has something. I added a real cultured pearl right there. Don't know if you can see that, but that is a real cultured pearl because one of the gems was missing. And I made sure that this thing shuts. Now, that's another problem. If you're going to try to restore these antique holy reliquaries and filled with relics, you want to make sure that when you fix the inside and you add quilling to it or some kind of whatever it is that needs to be replaced, that it doesn't actually come over the top of the lip and it can be closed. And so yes, it can be closed. And that is our really expensive reliquary that I got on eBay. Again, let's look over the saints if we can. And there are, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 relics in here. Really very, very expensive, these things. I got this. Now, she was selling it for $500. I'm not going to tell you what I got it for, but it was expensive for me, but not expensive for these holy relics that are in crucifixes. These are actually very expensive. I'm going to have to let this cure for 24 hours, so I'm not going to put the screw on. But this is what it looks like. This will be clean. This is ebonized wood. I don't know if you can see that. Yes, I have schmutz all over my finger. Ebonized wood and brass, it seems. Nickel-plated brass, maybe, perhaps. I see, yeah, that's probably nickel-plated. The Jesus and the wood will be cleaned. I'm going to use Murphy's oil soap with a Q-tip to clean and condition the wood. I will get Jesus shining again. All that schmutz and that tarnish is going to come off of him. I'm going to add, actually, I'll do it right now and I'll be back. So I've added a really fancy tassel on it. I'm going to put it in a shadow box. But now I know why. A lot of times when you find these old reliquaries, why the pieces are missing. The glue, the old glue that they use comes loose. and the pieces fall out and go missing. And so there we go. We got a fine reliquary. Now we're going to read a story about during World War II, a lot of these holy relics from churches was stolen by none other than, you'll never believe this one, American GIs. American soldiers stole a lot of the holy relics that were in the churches of Europe. Believe it or not, can you believe that? Well, we're going to read a story about it right now. So we're going to start our story out with, I found this this whole story, unknown Northwest Germany reliquary in the form of a crucifix, 12th century, right here. Really cool. Let's try to blow that up. This is from the 12th century. There are relics inside of here. And there's actual rewards because these things have gone stolen. Here's an example. This reliquary was placed in a cave nearby the Abbey for safekeeping in 1943 during the war. It was stolen from that repository by a U.S. Army officer who subsequently shipped it to his home in Whitewright, Texas. And so now they found it. I believe it came back. They were able to get it from the family. I guess that when he died, they told the truth. Here's the story. We'll go ahead and tell you the whole story. I'm going to skip over to 1945. Let's go ahead and do that. And here we go. All right. It says the treasure survived medieval ownership struggles, the Reformation, the looting of Napoleon's army, and the Nazi regime until the day they were taken by Lieutenant Meter. While his unit, the 87th Armored Field Artillery Battalion, was briefly stationed in the town of Quedlinburg at the end of the war and charged with guarding the cave, Meter found the mine shaft that the treasure had been hidden in for safekeeping and would safekeeping, and would mail the objects one by one back to his parents in Texas, accompanied by letters. In one he wrote, "There are two that I want to know about for sure," he continued. "One is a box that contains a book. The cover of the book has the statue of Christ on it. By all means, if it gets home, take extra good care of it. I have an idea that the cover is pure gold, and the jewels on the cover are emeralds, jade, and pearls. Don't ask me where I got it. But it could possibly be very valuable. In the later legal battle surrounding the return of the objects, his family would maintain that he had no idea of the value of the pieces he stole and that he had found them in the gutter. Yeah, sure. The revealed letters provided otherwise. He is also thought to have stolen other objects during the war. In another letter, he cautioned his parents not to show the treasures to anyone, and by August 1945, he was complaining. Now that the war is over, it is harder for me to get things. Wow, what a real stellar guy. It was later reported in the media that in December of 1945, he was court-martialed for the theft of silverware in China from the villa of the Marquis St. Carlos in Biance, France. While the theft in Quedlinburg was discovered in April of 1945, the U.S. Army did not trace the crime to Meter, and it would be close to 50 years before the truth would come to light. Meter died in 1980 of prostate cancer with no children, having left all his holdings and possessions to his brother Jack and his sister Jane. The Quedlinburg treasure was not mentioned in the will. However, by the early 80s, his brother Jack was having financial problems and offered some of the objects to the First National Bank of Whitewright as collateral for a loan. Wow, okay, this gets really juicy. Other pieces were appraised in Dallas, Austin, London, and even Paris, encountering many art professionals that did not seem to have asked any questions about the objects' places of origin. The treasures were traced to the First National Bank, and its management was confronted on the issue by German lawyer William Court. Now, he stole this from a German church. The bank president neither confirmed nor denied their presence, but the appearance of lawyers on their behalf a couple of days later indicated the objects were still in Whitewright. Armed with its own lawyer, Willie Court began the long legal process for restitution. Meanwhile, in June of 1990, the New York Times named the looter of Quedlinburg as Meter, creating a media frenzy in Whitewright. The investigative work hinged on the reunification of the East and West Germany. East and West Germany. And with it, two sister organizations, the Cultural Foundation of the States and the Prussian Cultural Heritage Foundation. A finder's fee of $3 million from a Munich art dealer. So they offered, they offered the Samuel Gospels for what amounted to a ransom, a finder's fee of $3 million from a Munich art dealer. He had sent it from a Houston collector, in quotes. And it was that this and other information that the New York Times was able to trace Meter as the culprit. The manuscript was further traced back to the WWII Bank, and the lawyers filed a suit in Dallas federal court for the return of the objects and for damages. In 91, a deal was reached in Quedlinburg for the Quedlinburg treasure to return to Germany, while the heirs of Joe Meter received a reported $2.75 million in return. Wow. So they basically paid him the ransom. The objects were displayed at the Dallas Museum of Art before being exhibited to large crowds at the Museum of Decorative Arts in Berlin. In 92, they were finally returned to Quedlinburg. It was reported that the IRS was investigating the Meters for $30 million in back taxes, interest, and penalties for not reporting previously their ownership of the art. Wow. Okay. So while most of the inventory was found safely and returned home, there are still two objects missing. The Fatimid period triangular rock crystal reliquary from the 10th century and the Northwest German reliquary in the form of a crucifix from the 12th century. It is believed by experts that these two sacred objects are still in Texas and held with people other than the Meters. Wow, so a crucifix with relics inside of it is missing, which I believe is the one that we saw in the picture right here. So if you should see this on eBay, there is a reward. And what is the reward? Up to $10,000. Really? The thing's worth like $1 million. You're going to only give someone $10,000? All right, let's go on with, going to tell you about all the relics that were stolen by United States GIs and soldiers back in World War II.
$10,000 of the world's finest liquor, wine, and champagne helped Easy Company mark the day the war in Europe came to an end. It's all yours.
So I tried to think about conscience, right? With that lieutenant, what he did, was he wrong? The church was bombed out. There was nobody left behind. The church was in rubble. He found it like in an old, like they hid the relics. Nobody was around, right? And yeah, would you take it or would you not take it? That is the question. I'm not going to lie. The thought would probably hit my head. Well, this place is bombed out. Everything around me is in rumble. I gave my life for this damn country. And I probably saw all my friends being blown up around me. I would probably have PTSD at this point and not give a fuck, excuse my language, about much in life, because life is hell. War is hell. Seeing dead bodies, dead animals, buildings all torn to rubble. I was going to say rumble. All torn to rubble. And the Germans massacred and killed some of your friends. Well, screw them. I'm going to take these treasures back to my family. I deserve it. I went through hell for how many years I was fighting that war. Saw friends die in front of my bare eyes, like saw people suffer, bloodshed. Yeah, maybe I would. I don't know. So, the article was very villainizing of that particular USGI, but he gave his blood for this country. And I'm not saying it's okay to steal, but that's what they did. So as you saw from the movie Band of Brothers, the scene when Nixon, if you haven't watched it, you have to watch it. When Nixon was like a drunk and there was no booze to be had anywhere, finally he's in Goring's house, the SS general or whoever he was, and there was 10,000 bottles of the finest liquor. Was he not going to take it? No. And in some scenes, he was seen taking silver candlesticks, candelabras, silver plates, silver dishes, silver utensils, and sending them all back to his family. Is that to say that he's a bad guy? And this guy that took that, we read the story about how he stole all that stuff. Well, they bad guys. You shouldn't steal from the church. One of the 10 commandments, thou shalt not steal in general. And so you shouldn't steal reliquaries or holy relics or anything for that matter. But the temptation, not going to lie, if I was a soldier and I went through hell, saw my buddies being blown up and killed, would I care anymore about things? I would probably have nothing left, no F's to give anymore. And I would have probably stole it. I would have probably stole it. I'm not going to lie. That's not to mean that I'm going to walk into Macy's tomorrow and rob Macy's. No. But it was in a burned out, bombed out church that was nothing left but rubble. He found it hidden in a secret passageway, buried. Yeah, it's all for the taking. And it was Germany. Germany killed his friends. He fought for our country against Germany. I can't blame him. It's like a big screw you. You know what I'm saying? So here we go. I did fix this. It looks much better. What is something like this worth? Well, I'm seeing them selling for anywhere between $700 to $6,000 in this size. Depending upon how many saints and which saints are in there. Yes, between $700 and $6,000. And this one is probably worth anywhere between $700 to $1,500 is my guess. I'm no expert. Thanks for watching. If you're going to try to fix one of these things or find one of these on eBay for under $500, I will tell you it is not easy. Not easy at all to find these things at all. I'm very fortunate to have it. Now, if you need to restore them, I'm going to tell you, you'll spend at least an hour or two cursing your brains out, trying to learn how to quill when you don't know how. And the fact that the nuns did this type of work, let me just pick this up, did this type of work and had the patience to do something like this tells me a lot about these pieces, and that's why they're so cherished. Thanks for watching. See you guys all soon. And I want you to write in the comments below. And don't get all holy rollerish on me. Come on. If the circumstances were, you were a World War II soldier. You saw probably hundreds of your buddies being blown up and killed right before your face. You end up being lucky enough to survive. You find a burnt out church with nothing but rubble surrounding everywhere you go in that area. The church is nothing but rubble. You find these things, I don't know, under loads and loads of dirt hidden in some shaft somewhere. Would you take it back? And I won't judge you.